hungry cat snake glides silently across the mudflat. A common predator in the mangrove, it hunts for bats, turtle eggs, or young chicks. The green heron, a favorite prey. The chicks are old enough to leave the nest. A sharp peck from the adult fends off the snake. Not all attempts are successful. From the water, a dragon-like predator comes ashore to hunt. The monitor lizard, relative of extinct reptiles that thrived in the age of dinosaurs, takes advantage of this period of low tide. Its diet is varied: vegetable matter, crabs, mammals, and an occasional mudskipper. Eyes atop long stalks can spy voracious enemies. Most frogs live in fresh water. Because the crab-eating frog has a high tolerance of salt water, it can feed on the bountiful food supply of the tidal zone. The blue fiddler's claw waving signals ownership of a patch of mud. Only the males engage in territorial combat. Rarely do they harm each other. The victor now turns his attention to courting a nearby female. Bending submissively, the female indicates her interest. In a prelude to mating, The male plucks at the female shell or carapace to stimulate her. He turns her toward him, and they join face to face. During mating, the male continues to stimulate the female with stroking gestures. Soon the female will lay her eggs. They will hatch at the highest tide. The ritual is vital to the mangrove, for its marine life is nourished and sustained by the millions of crabs born each month. The battles of the crabs are of interest to others. Using strong fins and tail, the carnivorous mudskipper deftly pursues its prey. Exposed mudflats attract even monkeys from their treetop homes. Searching through the mud, the crab-eating macaques feed on fish, frogs, crabs, and other shellfish. More often a night hunter, the short-clawed otter ventures at midday to explore small pools left by the retreating tide. A stranded fish is an easy catch. Agile swimmers, otters are well suited to a life in this intertidal habitat. Low tide reveals the sturdy entanglement of prop roots that support this old forest, living buttresses against the shifting mud. Although the trees have overcome the obstacles of salt water and mud, they face an onslaught of leaf-eating creatures that invade their branches. Like the proboscis, the silvered leaf monkey spends most of the day feeding on the abundant leaves in the forest. Many of the trees protect themselves with poisons or indigestible chemicals. But the Proboscis monkeys avoid the problem by feeding on the leaves of the Sonoratia tree. They are not poisonous, simply tough and difficult to digest. The Proboscis has a double-pouched stomach where bacteria break down the cellulose in the leaves so that nutritious protein can be digested. Proboscis live in troops of about 20. Young Proboscis, with their distinctive bluish faces, play under the watchful eye of the adults. At maturity, the blue coloration will change to a ruddy red-orange, which inspired natives to call them Dutchman monkeys, a reference to the sunburned appearance of early European colonizers. Large, heavy males feed in the sturdy center of a tree. Lighter weight monkeys venture onto smaller branches. The young stretch to the very tips to reach tender, more palatable leaves inaccessible to their elders. And the branches are picked clean. At dusk, the fruit bats leave the mangrove by the thousands and fly miles inland to feed.